I, I'm always going to look and take some positives away. I thought we started off the game really strong. I thought we had some good energy. I thought the starters played really well together. I think we did that in the first 4 minutes. They were out there together, and I think in the second half, the first 4 minutes, I thought we did some really good things offensively and defensively. Then Curtis hasn't played, so that kind of the flow of the substitution pattern was off a little bit. I thought John played well. I thought Brock played well. I mean, a lot of positives, but we have to get some chemistry going with the bench. I thought our energy level dropped a little bit, especially in the first half. Coach Crafton and I go way back to our Villanova days. He was the video guy, and I was the director of ops. I've known him a long time. He's a great coach. I know where he is. I've been in his shoes. It's going to take him time. He needs to be patient, but he's going to get his program there. I can assure you of that. We were supposed to have Nyack here 2 years ago. He was the head coach of Nyack for an exhibition game, or last year. So him and I are very close, and he'll get him. He'll get his group there.
Thanks. What did it mean to you to have that version of Mike playing in a regular season game, and not just physically, but he looked like he was having fun out there, again, if I'm not reading too much into it?
No, you're not. And I thought he did that against Delaware. And I thought he did that in the second 20 minutes of the secret scrimmage. I thought, again, he's day-to-day, but he's in a good space right now. His energy level, his second jump, it's just refreshing to see. Again, you just said how happy he looked out there. Yeah, he is happy. He's happy to be on the floor. He's happy to be with his teammates, and he wants to do something special.
What does it mean to you, though?
Yeah, yeah. Everything has been, it's really a tribute to Sandy and the administration and all of us for staying the course. He's on course to graduate, and he's playing good basketball. It's only one game, but still, I'll count the Delaware game. It's 2 games in a row. One day at a time, though.
Pat, one thing that Jason mentioned is that he mixed up defenses throughout the game. How do you feel that the half-court offense worked today, and what are the keys to kind of getting it to where it needs to be?
Well, in certain situations, I thought we did a nice job, especially the starters, getting the ball below the free throw line, attacking the paint, and getting some really good shots. They did a nice job of keeping us off balance, but we were prepared for that. We've been working on our motion concepts since the summer. So and sometimes we get a little stagnant. The ball sticks a little bit. And sometimes their defense pushed us out to half court. We got to make sure we play inside the hashes and below the free throw lines. And we do that, we typically get good shots. So we'll watch film. We'll get better from it.
18-10 in the first half, and you called timeout. They scored 14 points over the next 24 combined minutes. Was it just intensity defensively? What was your message during that timeout? And what did you try to accomplish?
Just don't get sloppy. Play hard, compete, try to win the next possession. I got to take a little bit of that. I can't sub 3 guys at a time, 4 guys at a time. It's got to be strategic. I was trying to get Curtis in there to get him some good reps. I was trying to see different lineups, how the chemistry would work. So I got to take a little bit of that on myself. But it's about competing hard every possession. We got to get Big Ten ready. We're less than a month away from Big Ten opponent. So that's the goal there.
Jamari had the chase down, tip away, up 40. How much in a game like this are those the sorts of moments that when you go back on film and have those team meetings, you go, that's the sort of consistency for 40 minutes that you're looking for?
You're exactly right, Ben. That's what I cherish, and I think that's what our team cherishes. That's Penn State basketball at its best. It doesn't matter if it's 22, 30, 40. It doesn't matter. We play one way. We compete hard every possession, and we develop the best habits we can. It was unfortunate that we had a turnover there. He's on the baseline. He sprints all the way to the other end line and knocks the ball away. That's a big-time play by a guy who's not even looking to score, and he needs to, because he needs to be an option out there. And we'll talk to him about that. But, I mean, what he means to this team, he's the heart and soul for sure.
Seth got 14 minutes tonight. What do you hope to get out of a first experience like this for a kid like that?
You know what's great, and you guys know this because you've been with me since day one. Typically in the past, Seth Lundy's starting on this team. my past history, he's starting on this team. He doesn't have to start. We can be patient with him. We can put him in there, get him some good solid reps, good solid minutes. Let him make mistakes. Let him play through some mistakes. He's only gonna be better from it. He's only gonna grow from it. And then we'll watch his 14 minutes one-on-one with an assistant or with myself, and he'll continue to learn and get better. And where he needs to get to by January, we'll get him there for sure.
Maybe some initial impressions
Without
looking
he
at the
plays
film?
so hard. You're talking about Seth, right? He plays so hard. He competes hard. I mean, he's even complaining at the refs up 40. I mean, that tells me he's got one way and one way only. He's got a high motor. So he's going to have a bright future for sure.
Coach, this morning when Curtis woke up, he didn't even know if he was going to be able to play tonight or not. He ends up playing the second most minutes for you tonight. It seemed like he kind of started to figure it out there in the second half with that second unit. What were your first observations of him like in his first game in an Indy Line uniform?
Little rusty. But I wanted to get him, get the rust off. We got to get everybody up to speed. Like I've been saying, we got to get some chemistry going, get a good substitution pattern going where our starting five's playing at an elite level. Well, the guys that are coming off the bench who are fighting for starting spots are not that far behind. So we need to keep it at an elite level. So that's what I'm going to look for out of Curtis. I already talked to him after the game. Hey, you got to keep us high at an elite level, and intensity's got to be high. But I thought once he got those minutes in early in the second half, he found his rhythm, he found his groove a little bit.
Pat, I remember a time when Lamar would make 1 3 and it'd be a huge deal. A couple of years ago, is 5 attempts in a game from outside the 3-point line what we should expect now?
You know what? If they're open, if they're good shots, if his feet are right and everything's in rhythm, yes. I'm not going to tell Lamar Stevens, who's working on his 3, very hard. He's in the gym all the time. I thought he had good looks. I didn't think he took a bad one. I don't think he rushed it. They're all in rhythm shots, so they're good shots for us.
Pat, you guys play with a lot of aggression defensively. How important is it going to be for this team to turn that defense into offense as you go throughout the year?
We need easy baskets. We need easy baskets. I think every coach will say that. Easy baskets lead to confidence. They lead to more energy. And then you know what happens when you get easy baskets, which are layups and dunks? 3s start to fall in as well. So it's a domino effect. And I used my 3-quarter court really strategically tonight. Just when I thought I had the right lineup in there, or I thought when we needed a little bit of boost or energy, and I thought it gave it to us.
Pat, MJ led all players with 6 assists tonight. Have you seen him grow as a facilitator, and do you expect him to have that role night in and night out, or is it going to kind of spread around?
And the funny thing is I was the hardest on MJ tonight. Just both sides of the floor, commanding his team. MJ's a quiet kid, but he can't be quiet on the floor. He needs to be loud. And we talked about before the game communicating loudly. And he needs to really buy into that. He's becoming a very good point guard, as you guys can see. He's an option out there. He can make 3s. What was he, 2 for 3 from 3? And he set the table, 6 assists, like you said, 2 turnovers. That's a big time. That's big time for a sophomore. Now remember, he only played 7 or 8 minutes last year. So this is all new for him. He's got to grow into it too.
What type of 3-point shooting team do you think you have this year?
When it's all said and done, I think we're going to be one of the better 3-point shooting teams in the Big Ten. Obviously, Miles, I expect that from him. But I think Curtis, when he gets the rust off, I expect him to be right along there with Miles. I think people don't realize how good of a shooter Myrion Jones is. He's a very good shooter. And Lamar's putting in the work. And I would tell you, Isaiah Brockington, he shoots good ones. So he might not shoot 6 a game, but he's going to go 2 for 4, or he's going to go 1 for 3 because he shoots good ones. And that's what you need. And Seth Lundy's a very good 3-point shooter.
Pat, they credited you for 10 steals. It seemed like you had more than that. There must have
Yeah.
been a bunch of deflections in there. You touched on this a little bit, but being able to bring the length and speed off the bench in the backcourt and even with Seth, how important is that to doing what you want to do kind of defensively and sort of forcing the pace as you were talking
Yeah,
about.
and that's the depth that we're talking about here. We can go to our bench. Again, we dropped a little bit, but we're able to put guys in, plug guys in, and keep playing our three-quarter court. Or they're so long. I mean, Curtis is 6'3", Miles over here 6'4", 6'5". They're long, they're bigger, they're stronger. Curtis is a senior. He's older. We're not putting freshmen and sophomores in. Brockington's a redshirt sophomore, and he's built like a stud. You know, so you're putting guys with Lamar and Mike anchoring the back. So that a lot of positives, and of course Jamari Wheeler up front when he's up there flying around, he really can impact a game defensively. I think we have the makings of one of my best defensive teams I've ever had here, and I think the goal's going to be top quarter of the Big Ten. That's where we need to be defending and rebounding this year.
Pat, you guys had a 20-point lead going into halftime, and yet it seems like you guys got shot out of a cannon there when you guys came out of the break. What did you tell your guys during the halftime break for them to come out with so much energy there?
It really wasn't me. It was really them. It was really the leadership. It was really the guys in the jerseys. I don't think they were too happy with the way we finished the half or the middle part of the half, let's say. And I think they wanted to go out and develop habits and really compete and win the next few possessions and go from there. So, again, when I'm doing all the screaming and yelling, that's not the best thing for us. When the players are holding each other accountable and taking ownership, that's when you know you got the makings of a good team.